What's up, everybody? I'm DJ Sixsmith. You're watching Sit Down. Season 4 of The Shy has been great. This guy has been crushing it. It's Curtis Cook. Welcome back, man. How are you?
Hey, what's going on, DJ, man? Like I just said a few minutes ago, I love doing this show. I love you, and I am so happy to be back.
Well, I appreciate that, man. Listen, I love your acting, and it's been great to see you on the show, but I feel like Season 4 for you has been wild. I mean, Douda as the mayor, we're defunding the police. He's got a situation with Tracy, he gets shot. I mean, what was it like to play this character in Season 4?
It was nothing less than amazing. I mean, if I wasn't on CBS Local, I would say another word in front of amazing. But I know that a lot of people are going to see this, so I won't use that word. Man, it was a challenge. It was a challenge, and as an actor, that's what we love, right? We love having a place where we can come in and we have to do the work. And what Lena and Showtime and Fox put up in front of us and in front of me was something like, okay, you say you're an actor, you say you went to school for this, you say you're able to do this. How about all of this? So man, that was a lot of times, and it was doing court, the whole pandemic and the lockdown and all of that and the testing. So it was a lot going on, man, at the time. And the beauty of that, if there is any silver lining in all of that, it allowed me to stay in my apartment and really focus on the work. And so hopefully it pays off for everybody while they're watching.
No question about it. And this season is super timely, too, because the conversations about defunding the police, the relationship between police and black folks, I mean, what was it like for that to play out in the show, especially given what had previously played out in the summer of 2020? And obviously, this is an issue that's been going on for a super long time here.
Yeah, it was wild because when Justin and Lena had kind of gave me the overview of the show and what my character would be doing, I got chills, man. I got chills in two spots, actually. I got chills there because of what was going on in the country, and the keeping it tight-lipped when I was doing interviews, because it was that thing that you can't really let anybody know because you didn't want to let the cat out of the bag. And then I'm sure that there's going to be a city or state that's going to do that because it's needed. It's in my opinion, it's needed. It's necessary. And the fact that our show, which tackles a lot of real life issues and is at the forefront of a lot of putting that stuff in front of the audience's faces, is tackling it first and foremost. It made me feel so good and so proud, man. And then my character gets to be the one that just kind of stands up and says, out of all the characters, right? Out of all the people who could say that, it's Douda who gets to stand up and say, you know what? I'm done with this. I'm done of how they're treating us. I am now the mayor. I can do something about this. I can actually try to do something about this. And he does, man. And that's one thing I really love about that character is that when he says he's going to do something, he does it. I mean, it doesn't always play through. It doesn't always happen in the most harmonious way, but it happens. And I love that he has that gumption and that notion to fight for the things that he feel are right.
One of the really interesting things about Douda is just the many layers of him, right? We've seen him obviously from his time in the streets to becoming mayor. And we feel like we're kind of seeing more of an emotional layer to him this year, given what he gone through personally and also just what's happening. What was it like tapping into that part of the character for the first time in a bigger way?
Yeah, I love that a lot, man. And thanks again to the writers, Justin and Lena and all of those folks over there that allowed me to be able to do that. Because sometimes, you get a character, depending on where you are in the parts of your career, that only has one note primarily. Your job is to come in with that one note. And Douda could have very well been that character. He could have just been the bad guy, the guy that everyone wants to hate. But the fact that they had this challenge of what happens if there's a line, do we like him? Is he good? Is he actually doing something that's positive, that's helping us? Or is he doing it for his own benefit? So and having that in front of me, was like I said before, was a challenge and a welcome challenge, because I think that all of us, we're not one dimensional. We all have all of those layers, and the fact that they're allowing this person to be a three-dimensional character and showing all of those sides of himself, I welcomed it wholeheartedly. And I got to work with Tracy Ty Davis, who brought it this season, you know what I mean, and allowed that relationship to bloom into something where you were like, wow, I can really see these two people together. And what is Douda putting on the line for this person, and how that kind of riffs in episode, I think it was episode 6 or so, was interesting. I welcomed it, man, and I got to show a softer side, and what actor doesn't like to show levels to their craft. And hopefully, once again, I'm saying like I did it all well, like I knocked it out the park, and I'm like, that was it. But hopefully, I put my whole heart into it, and I tried um, honestly, to do that, and hopefully it paid off, man, because I really enjoy that part of the story as well.
One of the best parts of this series is that it has provided the runway for all these characters to grow, right? I mean, whether it's Douda or you mentioned Tracy, right? She could have been a character forgotten a couple seasons ago, but she has gone on in multiple ways here. And there's so many interesting storylines here. So, it just makes me think, like, has your mind ever wandered off to what would a show about just Douda look like, a spinoff of just his world? Do you allow yourself to think about that?
Bruh, if I allow myself to think about it, I wouldn't think about nothing else. But of course, I would love something like that, man, because I think there is a lot more to learn about this dude, I mean, we got an opportunity to see his moms at one time, right? And how she treated him, and then we got to see the old man that was in prison, that was in season 2, I think, where he was talking to the old dude that was also. So I think there's so much more to reach into and dig and find out about this dude, man. It would be really amazing if that ever came to fruition, man. So from your mouth to God's ears, and we'll see what happens, man, because I would love to have that opportunity to do that. And I can dial this down. I can make this look a little younger. I can pull his years back a few. And keep moving forward.
There you go. I like that mentality. I think it's also really interesting about your career because you've built it out over all these years. A lot of people watch old stuff during the quarantine, right? So my wife and I are watching Sopranos, and I'm like, hey, there's Curtis. Curtis gets shot on screen. Then here's Curtis getting shot again. I'm just like, I can't catch a break.
But I died then. I didn't die this time. It was
That's
time,
true.
man.
That's true.
My first big Hollywood movie was The Interpreter, directed by Sidney Pollack, and I got shot in there and I died, and I was like, oh well, it was my first one. This first big Hollywood thing. They flew us out to Africa, Mozambique. So I was like, oh, I don't care, kill me, whatever. But then I got shot again somewhere else, and I was like, okay, I don't want to be the brother that every time he shows up, you be like, oh, he's about to get shot. So I was telling my people, I was like, y'all, please don't let me be that dude. I mean, I'll take a check. I love acting. I get it if it's for the character, but please don't let me die. At least not anytime soon. I remember. Oh, that's a quick story about that. I remember when I did do The Interpreter. My youngest son Harlem, I think he was like maybe 4 at the time. We were watching it at home. It had passed on and started coming on television regularly. And he had watching it. He saw me get shot, man. And the look on his face and the fear, because he was just watching. Oh, there's Dad. He's up there doing it. And all of a sudden, when bow, 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 these kids shot him, and his face changed. I literally had to grab this little dude up and be like, hey, I'm right here. Relax. It's okay. So that's just one of the things that just kind of show us how, like with The Shy and shows like that, how art imitates life, or how art is so impactful in people's lives. You know what I mean? How what we're seeing and how we relate to it really affects us emotionally, and how that can change a trajectory, like defunding the police, like last year, the kidnapping, the black girl kidnapping, how all of that stuff plays into how we see ourselves as citizens of this country, of this world, really, sometimes.
The other interesting thing is that there's so many heavy, weighty topics when it comes to the show. And the the latest episode with Love Jones, it kind of had a different vibe to it, right? It was just that we're going to focus on relationships here. What's it like for you, given everything you've done in this series, to kind of see some of the other folks and what they're doing on screen?
Man, I love these people, bro. I love the tenacity of their acting. I love the family atmosphere that we have as a cast. It's really interesting because of how we're kind of set up. Everyone's kind of set up in pockets, so it's very, very rarely that you get to see all of the cast members in one scene together. This year, I had an opportunity to cross over with Dre's character in a scene quickly, and then I've yet to have a scene with Emmett. Oh no! I had a scene with him, a quick little crossover with him last season when we were at the party with Emmett's character. And this season there was supposed to be a moment me and Papa interacted that didn't happen. But I really respect how they tackle their subject matter as well, because everything in this show is so important and so needed to be told, right? There's been a small window in which a lot of black shows had to kind of fit their way into to try to get their voices heard and get their information told. And the fact that The Shy has been able to do this, we've been here for 4 seasons now. I've been here for 3, but they've been here for 4 seasons now. to keep pushing that window open further and further so that more shows like ours that are discussing real life issues and handling real Black people's issues and getting that out into the world is so important. And I'm so proud of everybody that's involved in the show. I mean, from Crafty, from the actors, from the writers, man, I try to walk onto that set just trying to be as positive and as happy as possible, because I think when you have an atmosphere like that, it makes people bring their best work, and it allows people to bring their best work. And so I don't want to be that one that's like, oh man, here he comes again. You know, I just want to be the one that's like, oh, okay, you know, let's have fun, let's do this, because in the end, we are getting to do what we've loved all of our lives, and it's art, and art is messy and it's beautiful, and I'm so fortunate to be a part of a show like this.
I feel you, man. So when we talked a couple years ago, you told us the story about Spielberg and West Side Story. We're finally getting it this year. What do folks anticipate when they check it out?
Right. Yeah. So it's one of those things. So it's like, hey, do we talk about it again, Curtis? It's like, you told us last year what you said. I was like, yeah, but it ain't my fault. The pandemic came. We always like that. What am I supposed to do about that? So yeah, man, I'm so excited that it's supposed to be coming in here in December. Knock wood. I mean, you know, that Delta variant that's kind of walking around here, which is very, very scary. People, wash your hands, wear your mask, please get vaccinated, please take care of yourselves, please, folks. He's out there, but and when they showed that trailer during the Oscars, man, I'm telling you, chills going through my body. I was like, this is happening. This is really happening. So I'm really excited to see it. So and I look forward for everyone to see what Abe does in the new West Side Story coming in December.
Good deal, man. And lastly, we have the season finale of The Chi coming up pretty soon. August 1st is the date. What can people anticipate? Give me a little kernel of something that people can look into as we get going here.
So I don't know when this will air. I don't know when this will come out to you guys in the public, whatever. But this coming episode, which is episode 9, a lot of people have been asking, who is Douda? Is he a gangster or is he a mayor? And I will say that in episode 9, we're going to get a glimpse of the Douda of old and how in which we get it. Woo! I will say to you, be prepared, guys. Be prepared, because it was fun doing it, and I saw it. I saw a cut of it, and it's rough. It's rough. And it's nice. So episode 9. That's this Sunday though. That's not the finale, but that's this Sunday coming out.
You can really dial it up when you have to, by the way. I mean, I can only imagine what your kids are thinking when they see Douda in full force on screen.
Right. I saw something that my nephew, Daquan Cook, he's an NBA basketball player, but he posted something when I yelled at the dude in the last episode. He was like, low key, everybody, I want to say, I've seen my Uncle Curtis be like this really in real life sometimes. I'm like, what, dude? I'm the nicest dude ever. I would never really be like that.
That's just acting, I swear.
I am not a crook. Yeah.
Well, man, it's always a pleasure hanging out with you. Thanks so much for the time, and we'll be watching the rest of the season, all right?
I really appreciate you as well, DJ. Take care of yourself, right? And your family, and that beautiful dog.